Hi, welcome to my channel. This is Engelgeist. My name is Daniel. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new, welcome to the channel. If you're returning, welcome back. This is the weekly, well, let me explain. For those of you that are new, this is the daily forecast, but also doubles as the underpinning energy for the week of March 1st through, I haven't turned my calendar over, through the 7th, okay? So these cards that I'm about to lay out, each card is to represent not only the energy of today, Sunday, March 1st, but also it's like reflective of the entire week of the 1st through the 7th. So it's the underpinning energy also, okay? So keep that in mind. Sunday is the beginning of the energy. This is what we look forward to throughout the week. Each card will represent for like a day or two. So, some of you may experience all three cards, some may only experience one card, some may experience all three cards and then some. We're all in different trajectories, so this is a message just for the highest good for the greater collective. So don't be worried if some of this makes sense and some of it doesn't. Take what you want and leave the rest. If you want to support the channel, please hit the subscribe button or like my Facebook business page and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I go live or when I do a video. You can also follow me at Engelgeist333 on Instagram. You can direct message me there or at the business page for a private reading if you are interested in that. I can answer any questions you may have. We are starting this March 1st with a new deck. Today, two new decks actually for the month of March. This was the deck that won the vote over on the Patreon page. That's another way you can support the channels by going over to Patreon and subscribing to the Patreon page under Engelgeist333, and that gives you access to voting in which decks we use and different things, like for there's different special readings that are over there that are only available on Patreon. And this deck, I should say, too, also was a gift from my Amazon wish list from one of my viewers, Miss Jennifer Nichols. So thank you very much for this deck. So you guys can pay Jen a thank you for sending this deck over for us to use and explore. Okay, so the deck that we're using is the Ink and Intuition deck, and just so you know, I will link the decks in the video description. So if you like a deck that you see, please go into the video descriptions and look for the Amazon affiliate link. That's another way to support me in the channel. If you purchase it through my Amazon affiliate link, I get a small percentage of the sale from Amazon. They'll send me a small percentage of the sale of the item. All right, so let's see what's going on for the first part of the week for us. We have the Seven of Coins. To me, when I'm looking at this first off, coins is the element of earth and of money, or the energy of like material things. For me, this feels like what I'm getting here is I feel like we're maybe in the beginning of the week. We've got a lot on our plate. We're heading in a lot of different directions. These arrows feel like they're kind of almost mixed up a little bit. And then we have this timepiece in the middle, which makes me feel like we're maybe running out of time, or we don't feel as though we have enough time. We might feel a little bit of urgency. These markings here make me feel like there's an alarm or an alert, like kind of like, sort of energy to this card. I do want to say that like sort of the guidance would be, is at least in the first couple of days of this week, to kind of try and stay as grounded as possible. Try and sort of stay as positive as possible, stay focused on kind of keeping yourself as centered. And to me, this feels a little bit frenetic, the energy. Like this almost looks like a human being to me. Like this is the head, here's the arms, these are the legs. But I feel like it's being pulled in all of these different directions, right? Like, I gotta go this way, I gotta go that way, no wait, I gotta go, I don't have enough time, and it just feels kind of all over the place. So the green in these circles here in these coins makes me feel like we need to put our focus back on ourselves, ground ourselves, center ourselves in the early part of the week. Bring about that sort of sense of like green healing, right? To bring in whatever goals that we have or the things that we want to achieve. If we're feeling like we're spread a little thin, I wouldn't be surprised by that because this card gives off that vibe to me. But we can sort of get that energy back. We can sort of like find our, how do I want to put it, like our direction again. That's sort of these arrows too. It's just to me, I don't know why, but this timepiece, this obsession with running out of time feels like it could be an issue for some of us, for some of you that are watching during the early part of the week. Try not to focus on that is what I want to say. Like when I'm looking at this card, what I'm sort of hearing is keep your focus and keep this, like the direction of these arrows, even though they're going in 3 different directions, if you could just sort of pick one and stay with it, focus on it and focus your energy, ground your energy and focus it towards your goal. You can attain it, but don't get caught up in the worry and the sort of the fear and the stress of it all, if that makes any sense. So now the next card is for the midweek. This is the King of Coins. So this is a nice kind of like layover from the 7 of Pentacles or the 7 of Coins, where this energy kind of feels like we're doing a lot in the early part of the week, trying to build things up or get our goals accomplished, maybe feeling a little bit scattered, a little bit obsessed with time. Here we have a clearer goal, or what our goal is in mind. We're a bit closer to our goal. Coins again deals with the energy of the earth and material wealth. And this king speaks to that by holding that diamond in his hands, right? This diamond that we see right here. To me, this feels very centered. By the midweek, hopefully most of us have gotten into our knowing, gotten centered, gotten clear and precise about how we want it and how we're going to go about getting it. Maybe some of this scrambling in the early part of the week actually helped us to get us centered and get us focused on our goal. And the king, to me, also deserves, like, sort of, the kings always have, like, this awareness, this authority to them. Like, we've learned a lesson somewhere here, maybe in the early part of the week or during these first few days of the week, that has put us in a position of power, that has put us in a place of awareness that allows us to sort of feel self-assured, to feel sort of kind of ready for whatever I feel like the rest of the week has entail for us. I definitely feel like when I'm looking at this king, he's looking me dead in the eye. So to me, it feels very self-assured, very confident. So where this feels a bit scattered and maybe kind of running all around the place, this feels like I said, we sort of ground our energy, concentrate on one thing and put our focus on it. This is that focus coming through, and the success of that focus actually bringing about the sort of goals that we want. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be a financial goal, although coins indicate that. They can also indicate, a new job, a new, pair of shoes, anything material. It could be a new love relationship, whatever we sort of put our mind to and set our goal towards, and like sort of sharpen our arrow and aim only for that, and don't scatter our energy in the early part of the week. We can actually start to see the results come to fruition by the midweek, and we have this sort of this authority of this king. There's also generosity to the King of Coins, I have to say, that we want to tap into too. Like when we give freely of ourselves and we but when we live from a place of abundance, more abundance comes to us. So keep that in mind in your midweek too. If there's opportunities for you to give back to others through, not only financial means, but like time, through advice, through just being a good friend, whatever it is, whatever resource that you have, if you can share it abundantly, you're going to sort of be rewarded for that. Does that make sense? Like, because this king to me feels loved. So like if we take time out of our busy schedule, because right here we feel busy in the early part of the week, if by the midweek we stop and we pause and maybe we share some of our time with others that we care about or love, we will be appreciated and respected for that. Okay, so keep that in mind. The last card is Temperance. Lots of green in this reading. This is a brand new deck to me, guys, so it's sort of interesting to me to be reading with a brand new deck. So, Temperance is all kind of, to me, sort of like the balance card. It's about sort of being cautious, being wise, not being scattered like in the beginning of the week, being mindful and being careful. I love that she's this angel, right? I love that she sort of shows up at the end of the week to kind of smooth everything out. I feel like we actually smooth things out here with the king for ourselves. We're gonna hit like a, like, what do I want to say, like a place of self-assuredness, right? Where we start to see that our goals are actually starting to work, or whatever it is that we're putting into our goals are going to start to come to fruition. This temperance further like balances us out. It further sort of adds like calm and peace to us. There's more of this green color. I'm really obsessed with this green that I'm seeing coming through these three cards. To me, that speaks to sort of wealth. It speaks to health, it speaks to like healing, that kind of a thing. So I feel like the focus is going to be about maybe it's, I mean, we're not quite going to be out of the retrograde, but maybe it's the retrograde lessening for some of us, and that's going to help to make us feel a little bit more at peace. That's also this temperance, a little bit more loved, or a little bit more balanced. Okay, and this is a major arcana card, so to me this is a nice way to end off the week with this sort of calm, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I feel like she's almost like a guardian angel for us this week. Like, when we get to the end of the week, don't be surprised if we feel sort of watched over. Don't be surprised if we feel sort of like secure. Some of this is our own doing through this king card, right? In the midweek. But by the week's end, we're not necessarily like by ourselves. We feel sort of cared for or watched over. I'm getting this weird otherworldly feeling from this angel that she's sort of like our guardian angel, has come to sort of not assist, but look over us. I don't know if that makes sense, guys. So keep, kind of as I'm looking at this, keep your focuses or your goals, especially in the early part of the week, keep them as manageable as possible and stay as grounded as possible. And as you do that, come into that sort of energy of that king of, I like to say pentacles, but it's the king of coins. Keep your eye on that sort of energy and bring that in, and then that deepens with a peacefulness that's in this temperance card that is really beautiful. And there's also a blessing, I feel like, for some of you, if not all of you, in this temperance card. I feel like this angel, she's not only coming to like watch over you, but she's also coming to sort of bless you in some way. All right? I don't know what that means. I would love to hear if you guys experience some sort of surprising blessings, senses of peace, senses of calm, senses of like just deep balance is what I'm getting from that temperance card at the end of the week. I hope that is the case. It almost feels like we go from being a little bit of a nervous wreck to the total opposite of that. Like a guided, graceful angel. Interesting. All right, let's see what the other deck that I chose. I always choose an oracle deck to kind of accompany. I chose The Universe Has Your Back by Gabby Bernstein. Joy is the ultimate creator. Oh my god, it looks like a horror scene. No, I'm just kidding. So think about this week and today, Sunday, about the idea of being joyful. What brings you joy? Remember that that's the ultimate creator. And if we are utilizing that energy of joy in the beginning, early part of the week, especially with all of this coins energy, which is about materialization, like the material plane, keeping that sort of focus on joy, excitement, enthusiasm, those kind of energies are going to not only give us just that, which is joy and enthusiasm, but it's also going to help us to create sort of more easily, more successfully, with more sort of gusto in a way, and we're going to enjoy this week, I really feel like. Let's look at the grounding stone really quick. See what the grounding stone has to say. This is just a thought or an idea that we want to ground in during the week. I love this. This is on rose quartz. Chipped rose quartz, mind you, but rose quartz nonetheless. It is imagine. Rose quartz is the heart chakra, guys. This is the sort of your love center. So this to me is about when I look at this, it makes me think of where do you want to be? How do you want it? And how would it feel to have it? Imagine all of those things. Where in the world do you want to be? How do you want to be in the world? And allowing that help to come in to help you, right? That angel, that guardian angel, that spiritual energy of temperance, of balance, of peace to come in by week's end to help you to achieve this. Maintaining this idea that this joy is the ultimate creator, keeping that in your imagination, in your dreams, in your heart, and keeping that as your center. Look at this king, like where he's got this diamond is right over his sort of his throat chakra and his heart chakra. We're about to bring something in here, people. I really feel like there's this opportunity here if we can kind of balance our energy and sort of not be obsessed with time and bring ourselves back to a place of sort of centered with a space of with an emphasis on sort of healing, keeping joy as our central focus, and imagining how that would feel from our heart. We can create some really beautiful things this week. It'll be fun to watch how these cards unfold throughout the week. I hope that this is your experience this week. Keep your imagination and your heart open and wide and available to all of the gifts that may be coming to you. I feel like that temperance angel is ready to bless us by week's end if we allow it. Stay open to joy, you guys, and start creating. That is your forecast for Sunday and from March 1st to the 7th. This is a timeless reading though, so if you're seeing it on a different date, take this message with you and run with it. It's a beautiful message. Have a great day, you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.